glad to see that you all stepped up and said, I want to do this. I'm ready for this. When you're connecting inside to your truth, to your voice, and to what really matters, things are going to accelerate. I wanted to give you guys an idea of what's possible in the next 30 days. I've actually been working on this program for years to replicate these profound effects that I'm able to help people get with one-on-one work and put it in a group program and to consolidate it. And so that's one piece of my intention behind this. And the second piece is giving you skills and tools so that you don't have to come to me the next time that there's something coming up, some conflict, some sort of trauma that's like, oh, here's the next layer. Let me see Lorraine again. I want to give you the skills and tools to be able to do this on your own. So this is a self-healing course. And then the third component is creating community where everyone has these skills and tools so you can go to each other to hold space without taking the stuff on, because most of us here are probably empaths. So then, Parissa, if you have a challenge, Vanessa knows to say, Parissa, do you just want to vent? Do you just want me to listen? Or do you want some support, advice, coaching? And be able to have the skills and tools to be able to give the coaching pieces to hold space without now making it all about yourself, because most people don't know how to listen. Most people don't know how to hold space. And I get more into that when I do my relationship course. And so we won't get into that as much, but we'll definitely cover it in this because it's super important. You know, there's so many things to place our attention on. And with social media, we're constantly being distracted. Our attention is getting pulled all over the place. This is an opportunity for you to look at, where is my attention going? What am I focusing on? And then what is that getting me in return? Because that's an investment. Just like your money, right? That's energy, focus, attention. And that's why Google and Meta and TikTok and all of these companies, they all want your attention, because attention is money. Attention is the currency that we live in now. This process that we're going through over the next 30 days ultimately is the process of turning your attention, your time, your energy, your focus towards the things that matter most to you. And if you're not completely clear on that, you're going to be getting clearer as we go through this process with the coaching. I'm Lorraine. Some of you know me better than others or longer than others. I've been in this healing world professionally for 20 years, but really for 30 years. I really got into spirituality and psychology starting in high school, and it just continued to grow from there. It served me well. And then a few years ago, I was guided to put this lens of looking at the world that I call spiritual, but it's not necessarily spiritual, putting it to the side and diving into authentic relating type practices, which are more based on traditional psychology, which is what my degree is in. And without my spiritual anchor, I found myself struggling. But because of everything that has come out about the spiritual world and the toxic gurus and even coaching, I just did not want to be associated with it. I would do my own ceremonies. I do these processes that I'm going to teach you here. I'd get these downloads and awarenesses. But then when I came back to regular conscious awareness in life, I'd be like, no, I'm not bringing that stuff back. I just resisted it so much. And I had some shadowy times starting like mid 2020, and then having a good friend pass away, eruptions with friends and family, people that I cared about, and then going, okay, well, a common thing here is me. What do I need to look at here? So there was a lot of shadow of like, what's wrong with me? What am I not seeing? And then with the world changing, with all the technology and capitalism and seeing struggle left and right, I was like, I don't even know if I want to be in this post-pandemic world. I told God, I told the universe, I was like, hey, if you're done with me, I'm ready to go. It just looks like struggle from here on out. And I'm feeling purposeless with everything that's going on with pandemic stuff. My kids weren't really talking to me, or at least a couple of them. Empty nesting at that, menopause, my business shifting, my friend group shifting, where I'm like, I just don't know that I'm really needed here anymore in this world. I've outused my usefulness. Like within a couple weeks of making that declaration to the universe, okay, if you're done with me, I'm ready to go. I woke up with stabbing pains in my belly, all over my belly, just like heat would help, but it didn't go away. It would come back. And after, I think it was 4 days of this, I remember being on the floor in the shower with the hot water pouring over me. I'm thinking I'm going to die. And it dawned on me, wait, I I invited this in. I made this happen. I created that. And then going back to my spiritual roots, I said, oh, well, if I created that, I can create something else. That was when I started rebuilding myself again after a couple years of not taking care of myself. I put on 50 pounds. I didn't really exercise for a couple years. I didn't realize it at the time, but on the unconscious level, like, what's the point? I don't even know if I'm worthy and deserving of this. I don't even know if I'm a good person anymore. I was just really confused. So that's when I was bringing back my spiritual practices. And wouldn't you know, meditation made the belly pains go away. And I started becoming more aware again, seeing things that I'd been missing. I didn't realize how much I'd gotten worked up into an anxious state because I was the one people came to. I wasn't the messy one. I was able to be present and connected. At one point, I thought I descended, you know? I didn't even realize that the stress, the worry, the anxiety had creeped up on me so much and had taken over so much of my life. I liken it to secondhand smoke. I just thought it was low grade. But once I started getting still and clear again on a regular basis, I would notice it. I noticed I was waking up in the mornings and the contents of my dream was creating the tummy pain because there was this bit of anxiety and stress in the dreams, not huge things, but enough. And I had gotten to such a jacked up, sensitive place that it didn't take much to have that negative impact. And so the minute I would wake up in the morning, I'd notice my dreams and what I was doing, and then I would shift my energy to what I wanted it to be. I tune in, notice what was going on. Is there anything I need to do about this, which you all are going to learn? And then I shifted it. I got in alignment. I envisioned what I wanted to have. I got still. I got let go of as much as I could. And so I've been on this journey of rebuilding myself and my body and getting to a really great place and doing it in a sustainable way, slow and steady, not crash course. That's the power of intention. And throughout my whole life, I've seen the power of intention, how I can create. There is a lot of rhetoric that we're the center of the universe and we affect everything in our world. I don't believe that everything is a reflection or a mirror of ourselves. A lot of it is, though. And so when we're looking out at our world and there's things that aren't working, the first thing we want to look at is ourselves. What is it within myself that I am projecting onto the world around me? And so it's attracting more of that. It's not as easy as the law of attraction. We're attracting everything into our lives. The way that I see it is life happens. There's life going on around us all the time. There's narcissists everywhere. But those of us with secure attachments that don't put up with shit don't allow narcissists to creep into our lives. Those of us with less secure attachments that have grown up with narcissism, that have been conditioned to believing they were less than in some way, will find themselves in relationships that mirror that back to them. So it's not like they're a magnet and attracting because their vibration is low, but it's what am I willing to put up with because I don't believe I'm worthy and deserving of more, because I've never known anything else. Mm. Yeah. And that's all spiritual to me. That's universal to me. No matter what your religious beliefs are, I read the Bible and I hear Jesus talking about it. They're talking about in Buddhism, in Hinduism, across the board, universally, you hear this message that we're attracting to us what it is that we are inside. Jesus said, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. The kingdom of heaven is at hand." We have the power to create heaven right here on earth or create hell right here on earth. Who's excited?
Me.
Good. So all of you have worked with me before. That's special. It's always nice when I get to work with you again and get to know you even more. I want all of you to be able to bring your voice into this circle, into our virtual room together. So share a little bit about yourself. And then what is it that drew you to doing this, that you said, you know what, I think I want to do that. I'm going to give that a shot. As you were sharing, I know that other people in this group have experienced what you're talking about. Who has left a job that they felt overwhelmed and burned out in here, even though it wasn't logical? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when we let go of something that was such a part of our life, we're adrift and we don't know what we're doing. We need something else to focus in on. Samira, you said, it's like I'm able to see things for the first time. Things are brighter, things are clearer. I have another person that I'm working with saying the same thing now, and his relationship with his partner is transformed. All of a sudden, he's seeing her, smelling her perfume that he never noticed all these many years. Because the thing about trauma, when we're living in a traumatic state, we're not fully present in the now. So many of the people that I work with, particularly these high achieving people, they're good at getting stuff, but they're not good at being present. And when it comes down to it, I'm like, what do you want? They're like, I want to be able to be present. I want to be able to be here right now and experience the joy of just right now. The colors brighter, the scents brighter, to be with their kids and not constantly have the chatter like I got to do something, I got to keep moving. Because when we've experienced trauma, being still and not doing anything and not moving and not being productive feels dangerous.
That trauma really gets you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Like when you're traumatized and you're in a state of trauma or dysregulation, you virtually cannot be present. But I think the other aspect of that too that I experience is I can't even really be in my body. And it's been very recent that I've understood how infrequently I'm in my body. And having conversations and sessions with you and others, it's every time I'm asked, where do you feel that in your body? It's almost impossible for me to pinpoint because I've been so, popping out of my body. Like that's almost more my natural state. So I just thought it was important that maybe other people feel that too. I didn't even realize that was a thing until I realized it was a thing very recently.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's really common. It's really common for people to not have any clue what it means to be in their body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the good stuff is. That's where the juiciness is. But it's also where the scary stuff is.
Right.
Because we store all that stuff in our body, the memories, the emotions, all of it is in our body. Mm-hmm. But it's through connecting to our bodies, to our inner connection, that we get to heal those and then have a much more balanced and beautiful relationship with our body and ourselves. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why we're doing this, our unconscious mind is 90% of who we are. Every choice that you make is the reason why you can say you're not going to have any sugar, and then someone brings in donuts and you ate 3 donuts and you're like, well, I don't know what happened. It's the reason why someone can go into a rage and not remember it, because it's the unconscious mind that comes and takes over. It's our programming. That's 90% of who we are. If you think of an iceberg, the Titanic sunk because you could only see 10% of that iceberg. The other 90% is underneath. And so what we're tapping into is this 90%. And this little piece that's above here, this is our conscious mind. And this is the part that we know. This is the part that we're aware of. This is all the stuff that we know that we know. And so we try to figure out our problems with this much of what it is that we know and have available to us. And that's why we cycle through and we can't figure it out, because we're trying to use our conscious mind. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does everyone have their goals?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So those all sound good, sound measurable, sound clear, sound doable. Next, I want you to do just a little bit of writing, and I don't want you to think too hard about this. I want you to see yourself in the future at the end of 30 days, and you've accomplished all of these goals. Every single one of these goals. And I want you to see what you look like, that victory, that success, that championing, like that great feeling of, oh, yes, I've done this. Do you see it? Everyone see that? And now I want you to like backtrack in time, just see the day to day, the week to week, and what that looks like. And that might look quite different. That might look a little bit more challenging. During those challenging times, I want you to feel a deeper sense of why you're doing this, why it is that you're going to stick with it and not give up on the day that you feel like you don't have any energy, or you just want to grab that sugary thing, or make an excuse for why you don't really need to be creative. Instead of this real creative thing you want to do, you'll just do this kind of productivity thing instead and count that no. These are the challenges that are going to come up along the way. So I want you to look at these goals, and I want you to ask yourself, and you can write this down. The first thing that comes to you, I don't want you to think too hard about it. What is important about this? What is important about me achieving this? Because you selected them, right? This was all customized. You selected it. What is important to me? Why is this important? And that might look like, why do I need this? And then, what will achieving this mean about you? What will achieving this mean about you? And then ask yourself, when I have that, how will I feel? Some feeling words are happy, joyful, satisfied, proud, joyous. accomplished, worthy, deserving, confident. Purposeful. And when I accomplish that and I feel these things, then what will I think of myself? In other words, what will my self talk be then? Seeing myself having moved through these challenges, succeeded, stuck with it. How will I feel about myself, and what will my inner dialogue about myself be? What will be different about the things that you say about yourself to yourself? Having accomplished what you set out to do, move through this process, learned the things that you've learned, gotten vulnerable, been open, explored all the things we're going to explore in this course. What will your inner dialogue? How will it be different? And now I want you to ask yourself, what is stopping you from being that person now? What's stopping me from being that person now? Wherever you're at, I want you to put your pen down, close your eyes, get comfortable. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, keeping yourself safe. And I want you to just tune inside and scan your body and notice what's happening in your body now. And I want you to find, as you scan within you, a place that feels a little unusual, something that's standing out to you, that's different than the norm. It's kind of peculiar and different. And I want you to just notice that. Just look at it. You don't have to do anything with it, fix it, change it. Just look at it, see what you notice. And it might shift or move. Your attention might go to another place. Something else might get your attention. Just notice. Just a little bit more time here, noticing. And then I want you to come back. Open your eyes. We're going to build up here. We're building up on a process. And tell me, what did you notice?
I'll go. What I noticed at first was when I was thinking about what I wrote down and how that was making me feel, I stopped slouching. So I immediately noticed an improvement in my posture. I was sitting up a little bit more straight and proud, I guess. And then when I dug a little deeper, I felt a very familiar sort of constriction right around like the bottom of my rib cage, which is always very, very tight. I feel like I have like an internal girdle. And it was like loosening up and then like, hey, what about us? What about me? Like, so it would start like almost pulsing in a way, like it didn't want me to forget about, I don't know, all those fears or constrictions or something.
So you felt that pulse, that
Mm.
constriction in there.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Perfect. Great.
I can go. I wanted to feel something profound, but I didn't. What I was feeling is I've had some problems with my left shoulder in general, but I'm having pain in a different spot. And the whole time I was thinking about that, I had been, like, I'm going to see my chiropractor in a couple of days. And I went to talk to him about the next phase of fixing me because I've kind of regressed in certain ways.
Let's stay out of the story and just what did you notice?
Okay. As much as I tried to move away from my shoulder, because it's hurting, like you can see right there, instead of in the other places it normally does. It's like right in front. I kept trying to like, okay, I know, let's have a more profound moment. It just kept drawing its attention. So it was like hurting more, no matter what I did to like adjust or whatever. It kind of like your body girdle. It's like, no, we're here. So
good.
It just was like, no, we are not allowing you to move your attention. It hurts. So
it grabbed your attention. Yeah, good. So did everyone notice something? Yeah. Catherine, did you notice something too?
I guess I was confused what I was supposed to do.
Okay. Did you turn inside and notice any kind of sensation inside your body?
No, I guess I was just trying to visualize accomplishing these things and how it was making me feel more confident and driven, like I can do this. That's what I was thinking inside.
Got it. Awesome. All right. Oh, cool. All right. So let's go into this again then. All right. So go ahead. You can close your eyes again. And notice inside your body. You might scan your body from your feet up through your head or your head down to your feet. And we're not trying to do anything. We're just noticing what's there. And something is going to grab your attention again. It might be the same thing. It might be different, but you're going to feel something unusual, something different, something out of the ordinary. It could be tingling, a heaviness. It could feel lighter. It could feel hot. You might see an image as you're looking at it or a color. And if you're seeing something, it might stay the same or it might shift and move. You might hear something on the inside. You might hear words. There's all kinds of things that you might notice. but you're not forcing it. You're not imagining something. You're not trying to make something happen or visualize. Just notice this thing this part that's getting your attention, either through sensation or something that just pops in that you see. Your hands might be hot. You might feel tingling in your feet. There's any number of things that could be happening. And if there's nothing happening, notice what your inner dialogue is about it, what you're making that mean. And note that. And then let that thought go. Come back to what you're feeling inside yourself. All right. And so let's come back to the room again. Again, we're slowly building on this. And what happened that time? Was it the same? Was it different? Did you go to the same place, a different place?
For me, the first time I realized that I wasn't breathing. I was like holding my breath, like restrictive, and being conscious of that. And the second one, I allowed myself to breathe, and that took me right into my heart space. My heart space felt constricted the first time, and it felt like a deeper inside on the second round through.
Great.
For me, the first time I was paying attention to my feet. My left foot is super cold. And then the second time I noticed that it's my whole left leg actually that feels different than my right leg. Like my right leg is warmer and more fluid, and my left leg is more solid and cold and like frozen. And toward the end, though, my attention went to my head, my temple crown area, and I could feel and even see this frequency. Honestly, it's kind of weird. Almost like a massage, but it's like an energy that's like doing this.
Oh, all right. Cool. Catherine, how was that for you this time?
I'm sorry, it was the same.
What was it like for you?
I mean, just thinking positive is really the feeling that I was getting going through me. To be honest, I had to go to the bathroom too, so that was probably taking part of my mind off of what I was supposed to be feeling.
Yeah, well, thanks for being honest. Catherine, can I take you through something for like a minute?
Sure.
Great. Would you close your eyes like you're looking inside yourself? And I want you to feel inside yourself, inside your body, so that there's sensation. It's the realm of sensation. So we have emotions, and then we also have feelings, which are used interchangeably, but we also have feelings as far as like I can feel and touch things. What do you feel on the inside as you put your attention inside yourself? What do you notice?
I guess right now which doesn't make sense, my chest feels a little heavy.
There we go. There we go. So your chest feels heavy. And so your brain is saying, this doesn't make sense. And I want you to notice that that's what your brain did, because your brain's trying to make sense of things. It's trying to figure things out. It wants to know. And that's what our brains, because that's what our brains do. That's what our conscious mind wants to do. It wants to figure things out. It wants to know. And what I want to do is get us out of that brain that's always trying to plan and figure it out and know, and come to, oh, I feel this heaviness in my chest. And it doesn't make sense. And that's okay. I'm going to stay with this. What do you notice now?
It's easing up some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful. So I want you to stay with that, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then I want to invite everyone else to close your eyes. And again, tune inside and notice what you notice. And your attention might go to the same spot, or there might be a different spot. And all of those possibilities of things that were there before, you might notice again. Heaviness, or a lightness, or a tingling, or a color, or an image, something that feels like pressure or pain. And notice if your mind wants to make it good or bad or right or wrong. And then don't make yourself wrong for doing that. It's a notice. And just let that narrator quiet down, or maybe drift away like a cloud in the sky, and come back to what you're feeling inside. And so now that you've had this experience, a feeling sensation, I want you to add just a little bit of direction. And I'm going to give you some suggestions, and you can choose what suggestion that you give to this part of you that you're noticing, whether that's your heart or your shoulder or your foot or your hand or your head, whatever is grabbing your attention now. Give it a suggestion, asking it a question, a request. And it could be more, as simple as more, or it might be less. And just say that word over and over again, and don't force it, don't direct it, don't imagine it. Just see what happens when you say more of that. More of that, please. Or less of that, please. And notice what happens. More of that, please. Expand that more, please. Less of that. And then come back into the room, open your eyes, shake things up a little bit. And how is that? Who is able to get that thing that they were noticing, that unusual place, to respond to your request? Who was able to do that? Yeah. What about you, Vanessa? Were you able to? Did it take your direction?
I feel like maybe to a slight degree. Like I started out in the second round, I noticed that it was basically my entire left side of my body, my ankle, my knee, kidney, shoulder, arm, neck. And my neck was being the most profound in the last one. And I was asking them, why are you here? Because this is where I store a lot of stuff. And so that's always been like
Did you
that.
get
My
did you
left
get an
shoulder.
answer? Did you get an answer to that?
No, it's not talking to me yet. And I was reverted to, okay, we'll be a little more simple and doing less. And um, the vision I had inside my eyelids, it got to be more of a lighter cloud versus a darker cloud, if that makes sense. And it did loosen up a little bit. So that's something I'm going to maybe explore a little bit more. Because yeah, my shoulder, I've always stuffed all the stuff here.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. So a little bit, but maybe not. What about you, Catherine? I can't see your hand, so I don't know. I'm not picking on you.
I mean, I felt the weight in my chest. It was alleviated some. So it's definitely not as heavy of a weight there.
And what were you saying to it?
I was saying to it more.
You were saying
more. I was saying more. But I was thinking like confidence.
Got it. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So this next time that we go into this, when you say more or less, whichever it is, rather than increasing your thought about what you want it to be, I want you to be with the sensation of it. When we go back in, if it's the heaviness again, it'll be either more of the heaviness or less of the heaviness. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that making sense to everyone? Because why we're doing this, we're stair stepping up here. And so, like Catherine, your conscious mind is trying to come in and control things. Right?
Right.
That's what it's used to doing. And so what we want to do is not make the conscious mind bad, because it serves its role and its purpose. Its job is to choose, right? You've chosen. Right. What you've chosen to do is be a part of this for 30 days so that you can have that version of you at the end of this. Okay. Right? That's your choice. That's your conscious mind's job to choose. So now it's your unconscious mind's job to make that happen for you. But the problem is it won't happen. Even if you give yourself positive affirmations all the time, even if you visualize more confidence, it's not going to happen if on the unconscious level you don't believe it is possible, or on some level you think it's safe. You can't have that. The unconscious mind wants and likes what is familiar and what is comfortable, because that's what it thinks is safe for you. And so when you're like, no, I want it to be like this, it's like, no, not going to happen. And so that's why it feels like you self-sabotage, why you're like, I take one step forward and two steps back. That's because the subconscious mind is like, no, can't do that. That's not safe, because it's not familiar, it's not comfortable, or any number of other reasons why it can perceive it as a threat, even when it's not. Okay. And so what we're doing now is we're creating a relationship between us, which we could call our conscious minds, but we're more than our conscious minds. We're more than our minds or our bodies or emotions, but we're creating a relationship between ourselves and our unconscious mind. And because our unconscious mind, have you all ever had a friend that always comes to you wanting something and needing advice and support, but they never take your advice? You give them the best advice. You sit and you listen to them for hours, and then they just go back and do the same old thing. What do you tend to do over time when that happens?
Just don't give it to them anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. You're like, you never listen to me anyway. Why am I going to talk to you? Why am I going to work with you? Because you're just going to do whatever you're going to do anyway. So this is the relationship that we get into with our unconscious mind, right? Because our unconscious mind, like that 90% of who we are, like it knows so much, and it's connected to universal consciousness, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. You might even call them the same things, right? When people talk about connecting to their guides, their angels, talking to spirit, communicating with God, intuition, one could make the argument that these are all the same things. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I know is we're tapping into something beyond the ordinary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're developing that relationship, that inner knowing. And so you could call this getting in connection with your intuition or your spirit guides or angels. And this is how it communicates. But I'm going to use the terminology of unconscious mind. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready to go again? So go ahead and close your eyes and go back in. Tune in, notice what you know now. It could be the same area, it could be somewhere else. And once you find that, give it that request again. More, 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 or less, less, less. And notice how it responds, if at all. It may not, that's okay. It just means that you've got more practice to do around this. Just notice how and if it responds to your suggestion of more of that or less of that. Now, just drift. Stop giving the request and just notice and allow yourself to come into this more of a drifting space, like an empty space, like you're just coasting. You're not commanding anything, you're not doing anything. Notice what your experience is now in this place. If your mind has wandered off, come back to the sensation, come back to what you're noticing. And now I want you to ask a question, and I'll give some variations so you can ask what feels best for you. Vanessa was a step ahead. So a question could be, what is it that you want me to learn or know? Why is this here? Why are you here? And notice what comes up. Again, it might be words, it could be mysterious, and it doesn't make any sense at all. Just like Catherine said, it might make no sense. But just notice what it is and let there be more of it. What do you want me to learn or know? Why are you here? What do you want me to know? What's this about? All right. Come back into the room, open your eyes, shake it off a bit. Ooh. So how was that? Who got an answer?
I did.
Yeah. Did you, Vanessa?
I got things.
You got things?
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer can come in any of those ways that tingles and images, and it doesn't need to make sense. What's the brief explanation of the things? Not no no trying to make sense of it. I don't want you all to try to make sense out of any of this today or after today, okay?
It was a visualization that slowly started emerging, and it was a square cut diamond earring in a gold 4-pronged setting. And first it started out at the lower left-hand side, and then it started emerging, then it started rotating.
Beautiful.
I don't really care for diamonds, and I don't wear gold, so I don't understand.
See what I'm saying?
That's what I saw.
See what I'm saying? It doesn't have to make sense. And I want to urge you all to not try to make sense of this. Okay? Because I want you to stay in this state of processing. Okay? This is processing. These things are coming up. If you try to make sense of it, you're going to get in the way of the processing. Is there anyone that did not have anything come up around that? Catherine, did you?
My chest was lighter.
Your chest was lighter.
Yeah.
All right. So each step of the way, this is the next step in the relationship with your subconscious mind. So if your subconscious mind isn't responding, then you'll want to work at the step that you're at, right? So the more space and playing around with that, tuning in and then seeing, can I turn this up and can I dial it down? Can I turn it up? Can I dial it down? And then what is it that you want me to know? So Catherine, you'll probably want to be playing with the turn it up, turn it down, right? And then tuning into, okay, what do you want me to know? And I want you to stay in this question. When I go into this place, I don't get those answers right away. I don't get it in a short amount of time like this. It'll be after a 20-minute meditation or an area of that floating, drifting feeling, then things will come through. Because you're not going to think about it after this, you're not going to try to analyze it. It's just going to pop in. It's just going to suddenly pop in.
Okay.
A couple days from now, a week from now, all this, it'll be the same station. Like, I'm trying to remember. You know that song? Oh, I'm trying to remember that song. And what do you have to do? If you keep trying to figure out the song, it's not going to come through. You have to let it go. And then it pops in like right before you go to bed or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be like that. Okay.
Okay.
I'm seeing that we are at the 3-hour mark. So we can pick it up next week. And then the next level, the next thing that we're doing with it, more complexity, wherever it is that you're communicating with your unconscious mind, that's the level that you're going to want to be playing at. Because when someone tries to get you to do something that you're not ready to do, how do you feel? Yeah.
Resistant.
You resist more.
Resistant.
You want to resist more. And this is one reason why affirmations don't usually work, because we haven't created that relationship with our unconscious mind yet. And so once we have that relationship with our unconscious mind, then we can let those affirmations in, you know, those positive things. It's like, I'm confident, whatever the affirmation is. And we can communicate with our unconscious mind so that it can give us what we want. Okay. So we're stair-stepping it up, and we want to honor wherever we're at. Notice if we're making ourselves wrong in any way, making ourselves feel bad or less than. And that's all information for us to notice and go like, oh yeah, I don't need that. I'm learning something new, and everyone's at a different place. You're all doing great. In the meantime, as part of your interconnection practice, is I want you to spend 10 minutes a day. That can be in the morning. It could be the evening. Did I say 10 minutes? 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes going into the state and noticing what's going on inside of you. Notice if you're trying to make sense of it, label it. We'll get around to labeling it later when we get to emotions and stuff like that. But for now, I don't want you to try to label like, oh, it's this emotion, you know, just let that go. Just notice the sensation. We're operating on the level of sensation. So notice what's there. And then you can say more, try to give it like little commands, requests, and see how it responds. And you can go into that drifty place then for the rest of the 5 minutes. You can ask questions. Why are you here? What is it that you want me to know? You might find that you even go into a regression, like it might make you think of your childhood. That's called a spontaneous regression. Just notice if that happens and what comes up. And then usually like around 5 minutes, you'll feel good with that. If you want to go longer, you can. Like it feels like something you want to do, that you can. But generally, the moment you start to feel some like resistance, like you're bored, like you're done, you just get this feeling like, okay, I'm done, then you can end it. Or you can just set your timer for 5 minutes and then go on with your day. And then I don't want you to try to make something happen, right? So if you don't get the learning come through, this is what I want you to learn, that's okay. Just let it go. And just like the song that you couldn't remember, it's going to pop in at some point. It's going to be like a big aha moment. You're like, oh yeah. And it could be a week from now. It could be 2 weeks from now. But what you want to do is just get into this place of presence and allowing and surrender and letting things happen, letting things come up without having to know what it means, like the diamond thing, right? I don't have to know what that is, but I can just pay attention to it. All right?
Okay.
Good. What I'd also love for you to do is put your goals, type your goals in the Facebook group. And it can either be its own post or it can be in this specific post that I put for putting goals in. Either way. All right. Cool. Any other questions, any wins, any ahas, put those in the Facebook group. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.